How's it going, everybody? Morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, wherever you might be. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. I am OG Kuya, also known as Ayuko, uh, making a nature DPS loadout. This is mostly for beginners or people who have missed out on iconics and are just trying to have something beginner like and you know missing a lot of the stuff that's out and new and meta. This is for those guys. I mean, even myself, I don't have much, but it works. And so that's for the little guy, basically. Let's get to it though. um we'll start here for artifacts. As you can see, like, I don't even have everything I need. Um, what you will be running is more than likely Omega. I had Omega, but I had to feed it. But that's a different story. Omega. Sinestro's Corrupted Power Ring is a good fill-in until you figure out what exactly you want to do. I have Gemini. Dead King Scepter is my personal preference because I want to spam my Orbital Strike. But we'll go into substitutions for that. And Candle of Neuron. So you're probably not going to run Dead King Scepter. If anything, I would highly suggest running Purified Plages of the Black. And if you chose to not run this, maybe Quizlet, or Quizlet will probably be the best thing. There's a new artifact coming out soon. It's going to be probably very viable as well. So that would be, what I suggest. And the loadout would be a little bit different if you ran Pages of the Black as well. So I'll go over that as well, just so that you can see what that's supposed to look like. For your augments, you're probably going to run Might for everything. And then for your allies, if you don't have anything, if you don't have Constantine, I highly suggest House of Legends bot. It does bonus damage to bosses, and I mean, overall, it's just a good ally to have. And then whenever you get something else for a combat ally that's leveled up, you can always use it for your power regeneration. I mean, it's a win-win. For your support allies, I don't really DPS too much, but if you're nature DPSing, I will highly suggest getting Poison Ivy. She has really good support abilities for nature. And the Flash, maybe. The Flash, I mean, all DPS support allies, they're going to be viable. I do suggest having at least Poison Ivy, though, because she does really well in supporting for nature. For traits, we are going to go 1 and 2 Rocket Assisted Glide in Acrobatics. You will go whatever weapon you want. You're not gonna use it much. I use dual pistols. That's my personal preference. It's fast, a lot of different combos. And I main a battle healer, so it just works for me. And then for iconic powers, you're gonna want to come here for Neo Venom boost. Um, this will probably be the only iconic you do have. Um, and I say that because it's acquirable by everybody. You know, it's not spore pods. Like, I don't have spore pods. I want it. I don't have it. Um, it's not magma. It's not the shadow ability, so you don't have to worry about any of that. But Neo Venom boost is good because it increases your damage. It's, you know, just extra damage. So you're gonna want that. And in your stat points, you're gonna spec into superpowered, and then crit attack chance, crit attack damage, and then mining power. This is what you're aiming for. And then for your loadouts, there's a couple different ways you can do this. I'm a simple guy. I don't use transformations. But if you wanted to use transformations, you know, it's basically the same thing, just in gorilla form, and it increases your damage for a short time, so you can use that as well. And I can show you how that looks. I don't know if my supercharge is filled up though. But you're gonna have Serpent Call. I like doing my abilities from left to right. You know, the personal preference is completely up to you. But I'm gonna have Serpent Call, Briar, Harvest, Voracious Plants, Swarm Shield. I like keeping a shield on me. It's completely up to you. You don't need it, but I mean, I run a lot of solo stuff, so having a shield is very useful. If you don't have Omega, or you're choosing not to run Omega, or it's not leveled up yet, whatever the case may be, Impaling Thorns will be your substitute for that. And so that'll be like your first tray. For your second tray, we have Neo Venom boost. You can have these anywhere, just because they're supercharges. You're gonna have Neo Venom boost. You're gonna have Chaotic Growth, and if you wanted to run Gorilla Form, you know, you would have Gorilla Form in there somewhere. And Gorilla Form, it's really just gonna be this exact same loadout. And if you had Omega, Omega would be here for Impaling Thorns. That'd be the only difference if you had Omega or not. That's just your finisher. So yeah, so for Gorilla Form, you know, Gorilla Form, I don't even have it set up because I don't use it. But it would be the exact same loadout as this. And that's really, that would be it, honestly. That would be the only difference. And should you come across any power augments and, you know, you want different abilities, like if you wanted a second shield, you know, you can get Hard Light Shield, or, you know, other abilities from power augments that's new in the new content, you know, you can add them down here and just mix and match. But for sure, you want this to be your main loadout. Everything else is just a plus. Nature is simple, you know, it needs work. It's not anything crazy. It does need work, but it is simple. So coming down here, this will be the rotation. You're gonna go Serpent Call, and then your second ability, and that's gonna give you poison, and it's just gonna tick and be poison for a while, and then you're gonna spam this ability. You're gonna do that for about 5 seconds. So and really, it's just 5 attacks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to do Harvest. What Harvest does is it refreshes all the pheromones, or not the pheromones, I'm sorry, the poison on your targets. Um, that way you don't have to hit your first two abilities multiple times. Saves your power. Um, it saves your power. That's the most important thing, because this is just very spammable. It's fast, so if you had Omega, you'd get it pretty quickly, and then you can use it. And I mean, that's really it. You know, pop your shield when you need a shield, and call it a day. But this is what the rotation would look like. So it's 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Harvest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Harvest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Harvest. And as you can see, I mean, it's just critting for days. Like it does the damage. If you're like me and you have, you know, a bunch of allies and stuff, what I would do is, when you're ready to call in your orbital, henchman, ally, all that stuff, that would be your substitute for your attack. So you would go like poison, and then, you know, do your rotation, 3, 4, 5, harvest, and then orbital, henchman, allies, and then
clear off, Duffer.
Harvest, and then go back into it. And the reason you're going to harvest right after your orbital and everything is so that it can refresh the poison before you go back to attacking. And then if you had a mega, you would use it here. And if you don't, I mean, Impaling Thorns does extra damage on targets with 35% health or lower. So if you know, we're gonna use it. I used it while they were half health. So you'd obviously want to wait till they were a little bit lower in health to use that. Now, should you have Pages of the Black in, except for let's just say Dead King Scepter. You know, if you're Dead King Scepter, you don't have that. You're running Pages of the Black, which is, this is like a very viable loadout. Your loadout would be very different. I would say you definitely need your weapon buff in, and then how would I do this? I would take out Impaling Thorns. I would take out Impaling Thorns from the top row. I don't know, this is completely up to you, but basically what you want to do is make sure you have immunity. Unless your artifact is at 200, which mine isn't even at 200, but I make it work. You want your health to stay above 50%. If you're running content with people and you have a healer and they're on their game, as long as you have a shield, you should be good. But if you don't, you run a lot of solo stuff like I do. I like to keep both weapon buff and shield on, so I keep 100% immunity. And those, you're gonna activate those one right after another. Like, as soon as one drops, the other one is ready, and you basically keep immunity the whole time. And so the way this is gonna work is, you get into combat, your health starts ticking, you're gonna pop your shield, you just do your rotation like normal. When your shield drops, you're you're gonna hold R2, drop down on the D-pad, hit the weapon buff, and then just go back to your rotation. As soon as the weapon buff goes away, you're just gonna pop your shield. It's tricky, and honestly, it'd probably be easier, especially if you're newer, to have your weapon buff on the main loadout. So, like this. This will probably be better. This will probably be a little bit easier to, and more viable. Also, what you're doing is you're alternating your shield and weapon buff. There's going to be a white symbol that pops above your head, and every time that drops, that's when you pop the second one. So we'll go rotation, activate, see that white circle. As soon as that drops, you activate your weapon buff. And you catch your health before it even gets too low. And obviously if you're with a healer, you can always, they'll always have you healed before it gets too critical. But like that, you're stopping the damage, and if you're fast enough, you can keep immunity up without losing any health. I'm pretty good about it when I'm battle healing, because I'm just paying more attention. It takes practice, but it's very viable. And once it's at 200, like I suggest making that your first 200 art if you're going to use it, just because of the damage it does to you. But aside from that, honestly, it's super easy. And so that is nature DPSing. I personally feel like nature needs work, but you know, it's not as bad as Celestial. Shout out, you know, I am mad holidays for running that power. Healing is great, but I mean, it takes work if you want to make it work. But it does need work. I mean, I feel like it's not the best. DPS wise, it's not weak by any means, but I just feel like it, you know, compared to, you know, water and rage and other powers, it's just not there. That's just my opinion. But it's good. It's good. It's solid. It works. You don't need help from others. So it's not horrible. I guess we can do healing. I'll do both loadouts. I'll do healing and battle healing. Personally, I feel like you only need one loadout tray for all of these, especially if you're a beginner, because it just works. You don't need to do a whole lot. But we'll get into it. Inventory. If you're straight healing, you're not worried about battle healing or anything. This is what I suggest running. I have Gemini. You're gonna want to run Eye of Gemini. You know, you're gonna want that at 200 as soon as possible, because end gamers and tryharders, they're gonna want greens. They're gonna cry if you're not giving greens, and you know, respectfully, I understand, but you know, that's just what people want. That's the meta, and so Eye of Gemini is very important. Page of Destiny is an absolute must-have for healing. A purple healing ray is a must-have for healing. I highly suggest using the Clarion. Now that we can use 5 artifacts, even though it is a precision artifact, Nature's biggest downfall for healing is it only has a 4-man shield. That's my opinion. My Clarion's obviously not even where I want it to be, but after you get it leveled up, it will give a shield to all of your teammates. And I mean, it's good. It's needed. So I suggest Clarion. And I use Starheart Fragment. I mean, it's an old artifact. A lot of people don't use it no more. I don't mind it. I don't like pure heal anymore, or like often. So it's not bad for me. If you don't want to run Clarion, another thing you can do is run Purify or Pages of the Black. Because with it maxed out, say you max it out for DPS, you can use it for healing. You get 30% extra resto. I mean in defense, and I'm pretty sure it buffs your dominance too, even though it doesn't say it. If you wanted to remove Starheart and run Pages instead of Starheart in conjunction with Clarion, it just boosts your weapon attacks, but that's just battle healing stuff. I'll get into that in a second. But that's just up to you. If you wanted the buffs from Pages of the Black, you can take out Starheart. But Starheart's very, very good. I mean, it just gives extra health when you use your group heal. Like, there's nothing wrong with that, especially since group heals aren't the strongest priorities. I don't see anything wrong with it. So, recap: EOG, Page of Destiny, Starheart, Purple Healing Ray, and for nature, specifically the Clarion, just for the shield. But you'd have to have that maxed out for it to be as viable as you want it to be. For your augments, you're going to run Restoration, everything. You could probably also get away with Dominance, everything, because it makes your shield stronger, and it helps your restoration, if I'm not mistaken. For your allies, it's the same thing. I mean, if you have Constantine, run them. If you don't have Constantine, House of Legends bot or whoever you want for your combat ally. House of Legends bot and Crypto honestly are the best bets. They do the most damage for 5-star allies. They don't really miss, and yeah, I mean, it's just beneficial. For your support allies, everybody's different here. I like using Shazam. With the dual pistols, if you hold down your range button, it just spams. So each gunshot is an attack. So with that, I use the ability Purity of Heart, and each weapon attack grants 1% restoration for 5 stacks. The higher you level them up, I think you get more stacks, and using a priority or group heal removes those stacks. So it's just adding restoration percentage until you heal. So it's good. It's really good. I'm using Batman right now for collections, but I'm going to use Superboy when I'm done, or if I'm running something important, for the Crypto's Aid ability. If you can't get Superboy, I don't know. I don't have the allies to know what's best or not. I know Shazam is good for not Shazam. Black Adam is good for Supercharge, but he's harder to get if you can get him at all. And there's a couple others, but I don't know. I guess Google or someone else who heals will know better about that. But that's that. And then for Acrobatics, you're gonna go 1 into rocket assisted glide again. Your weapons, you don't even need your weapon combos, I don't think. Probably which one is it? I think maybe just your range combos would be all you need, in my opinion. Yeah, just your range combos would be all you need. And it'll save you some skill points. I'm probably gonna change that myself. Iconic powers, as you can see, I don't have any of them, so not necessary. I think Word of Power might be good, but you don't. It's not necessary. Stat points, you're gonna spec super powered. You're gonna go into power, critical healing chance, critical healing magnitude. Sorry, I brain farted. And restoration. And then after restoration, you're gonna want to put into health and dominance. More dominance than health, just because it's what you need. It helps your restoration and it helps your shield. After that, you're gonna go into your loadout, and as you can see, like, this is all I use. It's not a lot. It's not hard. People used to swarm into or transform into insect form. I don't think that's necessary. I don't think it's necessary because, I mean, it's just not. Content's not even hard anymore. So, what I'm doing is viable. And like I said, once you get power augments, like I have the white lantern ring, I'm going for the blue lantern ring. Those have really good healing abilities and shields on them that I'm going to use to fill up the second row. But this is what you need right here. Honestly, it's all you need. And if you're running Pages of the Black, oops, you would have your weapon buff in there as well. Just because yes, you're healing yourself, but until it's 200, you're going to want to keep as much immunity as possible. Trust me, I know, I'm speaking from experience. But I mean, it's simple. It's easy. You just heal. I suggest paying attention to your teammates so you're not overhealing. Save your power. You only have a 4-man shield, so I suggest also using your shield when you see a lot of big damage coming in. It might not save if you're in an alert. It doesn't matter. You're gonna help everybody in your team. But if you're in a raid and you're not running Clarion, yeah, I suggest waiting. Once you see big damage coming in, then you pop your shield. It might not save whoever you're trying to heal, but it might. It's a 50-50 chance, honestly. But your first 3 abilities in your loadout: Savage Growth, Metabolism, and Cross Pollination. These are your heal over times. They all heal over time. Savage Growth is, if I'm not mistaken, you have a little bit closer. You have to be closer to your teammates, but it's not horrible. The rest of your abilities, the range is ridiculous. Like, I could probably heal you if, like, I'm this far away from you. Honestly, like, Nature's range is really, really good. After Savage Growth, Metabolism, and Cross Pollination, it should be in that order because it's clippable to each other. So you can pop all 3 of those in quick succession. Then Blossom will be your priority heal, and your shield. And then, if you wanted, say, like, Hard Light Shield for yourself so that you can, like, make sure you don't die while you're trying to heal other people, would be a good second shield to have. Probably down here is completely up to you. And regeneration. Regeneration is here for your supercharge. It's a 5,000 supercharge, so it's not benefiting the most. You can have like chaotic growth down here for a 10k when you're running your EOG at max. And you pop that wherever it's gonna do damage to your target. So wherever everybody's at, you just stand above them and pop your 10k on them so that they can get greens. But for the most part, regeneration is definitely what you need, because it also heals. So it's literally all heals. But it works. Nobody dies under my watch, and I have a fun time. Like, to me, it's not boring because I'm a battle healer. So as you can see, I am spec'd. Oh, well, actually, I changed it, but I have precision. I'm spec precision. So yeah, that's healing. It's pretty easy. Nothing crazy. Now, battle healing. This is my bread and butter. This is what I do. Like, this is what I do. As you can see, I have my weapon buff and my shield and my loadout. Nothing crazy. Here, let's start from the beginning. So I am a precision nature battle healer. Cannot stress that enough. I do have a video on this already, but I feel like quality is bad just because it was my first video, and the volume on my sound effects was very loud. But I got Demon's Fang and the Clarion. Those are for precision. They help a lot. They boost your precision damage output a lot, and they both also give restoration. Now, the Clarion, again, super important because it gives shield to your teammates. Mine is just underleveled, unfortunately. Purple and Page, like I said, those are important for healing. And Pages of the Black. I run Pages of the Black. I love it. It gives me precision. It gives me restoration. It gives me defense. It benefits me in every way, shape, or form. And I used the weapon buff and the shield before this artifact even came out. So it was like it was made for me. This new artifact is supposed to be a healer artifact. I'm gonna say this: if it buffs your precision, I'm taking out Purple Healing Ray. That's just that's all I gotta say about that. If it buffs your precision and gives restoration, I'm getting rid of Purple Healing Ray. That's just my opinion, because I'm getting a good buff in Pages of the Black already. So I don't know. I don't feel like I need Purple Healing Ray if I'm getting a buff in my precision. That's just my opinion, though. So run what you want. Augments. Spec precision. Just actually spec precision. And for allies, same bit. If you don't have Constantine, House of Legends bot, Crypto. I use Shazam for Purity of the Heart. I got it for battle healing originally. You can also use Shazam for DPS using power of the Shazamily. Completely up to you. Since I'm a precision battle healer, I'm always using my weapon, and that's like it keeps my restoration stacks up at all times. Like it never fails. So, oops. That's why I use him. For your second ally, again, you can use Superboy if you don't got Superboy. If you got the House of Legends bot, you can use the House of Legends bot. I'm not sure if like knockdowns and stuff counts as a stun, but if it does, it just helps regain your power. It's necessary. If not, you can use Calculator bot. It heals you for 10% of incoming damage. It's a good just in case. Like, you get one-shotted or something, it's a lifesaver. Kind of like Laz, but like, not. um, but it's up to you. Black Adam. There's a bunch of the Flash. Like, those are all very viable support allies. This is just what I use because it's what benefits me. For traits, acrobatics, you cannot stress this enough. You do not have to do this. I'm a battle healer. I like PvP. So I have these. As you can see, I only have 155 skill points. This is a waste of skill points, but uh, I just felt like, me being who I am, I wanted them. So I got the extra resistance. You don't need it. Save your 6 skill points. Just get rocket assisted glide. For acrobatics, for iconic powers, as you can see, I don't have anything. So like I said, this is just super simple. It works. Weapons. I do have all my dual wielding combos. I have mastery. Because it increases damage, but I also want to do the bow cross weapon combo. But that's that's for later, I guess. Pretty sure it's this one. Oh, that's hand blaster. Oh, maybe it's the bow into the pistol. Okay, so I'm wrong. Okay, so yeah, never mind that. Stat points. I'm spec'd hybrid. I'm contemplating trying specking superpowered, just so my power regeneration is automatic while I'm doing damage with my pistol, because sometimes I feel like it can be unreliable building my own power while I'm attacking, even though I'm attacking often. Um, you know, in emergencies, it just would be. Blah. It would be nice to have my power regenerate by itself. Um, One second. You're gonna want to max out critical healing chance and magnitude, critical attack chance, and damage. Very important. And then you're going to max out restoration, and then spec into precision and dominance. Um, Very important. Um, for your loadouts, weapon buff. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. My daughter was waking up. Don't need that. So Carnage, weapon buff, Savage Growth, Metabolism. Your heal over time and group heals basically. Blossom for your priority. Swarm Shield because you need a shield. Same thing as regular healer roll. You know, you can get Hard Light Shield or your Power Augment Shields if you have them, and fill up your second row. Regeneration. It's all basically the same thing as straight healing. The only difference is you're not meta. You know, you do this because you want to, you do this because it's fun. You are just like DPS, you're gonna alternate shield and weapon buff. Just to make sure you stay alive. Your weapon combos are important because it keeps you in and out of battle, in and out of the hot zones. So when you need to get closer, your lunge is good, Savage Growth, and then combo away. And this is it. You know, you're attacking. I like to activate my group heals because they're heal over time periodically, just so that I'm at least not getting so lost in dealing damage that I forget to heal people because I do that sometimes. I get pretty locked in, and just like that, you know, I'm just attacking. By now I already have all of my Shazam buffs, stacks, and then heal. And that's literally it. And then if someone's critical, just, you know, priority heal. And that's it. It's super simple. It's so simple. It's just a matter of learning how to alternate your shield and weapon buff. And as you can see, like, my health stood at 100% even before healing. I mean, it's really just that easy. Look, I can do it without healing. Just go ahead and get my health up. Just so you can see, like, if you practice enough, it just becomes second nature. So just no healing, just alternating weapon buff and shield. So you're keeping your eye on that circle. As soon as it pops, the other one is ready. If you're mid attack, you know, there's nothing you can really do about that. But your health is gonna stay up, honestly, and that's just what it is. But I'm healing, and honestly, like, I'm not doing it. It's really just that easy. So just practice. If you're spec'd the right way, you're gonna be viable. I mean, like, it just takes time. Like, you need your artifacts to be leveled up. That's super important. You need your allies to be leveled up. And I'm like squirrel brain, ADHD, borderline autistic, and I'm all over the place because, like, I feel like I want to do it all at the same time, and that's just not possible. I'm as free to play as possible, and, you know, I don't have a lot, but for what I got, it works. And you can have it too. Like, it's not hard. It's not hard to do what I do, and it's fun. Like, you know, I have a ton of fun playing the way I play, and I think that's what matters when you're playing in the modes like this, especially DC Universe, where everything's about uh, personality and customization. Look at LV in the chat. But yeah, shout out LV. Cool guy, man. Cool guy. So that's nature. Sorry it's a long video. I was gonna do 3 separate videos, but I feel like just one video really makes it easier to do. If you have any questions, you know, you can leave them in the comments, and you know, it's simple. You got this. Nature's fun. If you're running nature, it's fun. If you want something better, I don't blame you. But I don't know. I like kind of being underdoggy and different. That's probably why I vibe with Holiday so much, because I think I'm addicted to different too. So I feel that. Yeah, OG Kuya out. Have fun, everybody.